guys, it's your own boy, the one and only Great Dane, back with a new season of Squad Busters. Again, I can't really say that there's anything new in the game, and we probably won't be receiving anything new in the game for a good while, or, forever, because the game is ending. But, again, I did make sure to go through and actually complete the January Gem Pass, and there's a few things I found surprising, and we'll get into that in a second, but again, in terms of the background, it's reused. I'm sure you guys recognize it if you've seen or played the game during certain passes. And the pass itself seems to be the exact same thing as the December Gem Pass, of course. But again, interestingly, I swear they decreased the amount of gems you need to complete the pass by at least a significant amount as well, because I believe the last tiers were used to be around 3,000, now they're about 2,000, so again, it wasn't too hard to complete it in about a day, but at the same time, I was finally able to reach the 5 million coin threshold, or they'd call it a limit, right? You can't go over that amount. It literally says you can hold up to this amount of coins or hero points. So again, I forget if I said it in the last season review, but essentially I went through and I contacted support, and something that got pretty frustrating was that we're only able to hold I want to say it was like 50,000 hero points before, right? But the issue again, it's weird to say considering how many I currently have right now. It's obviously more than 50,000. But I messaged support and asked them if they could at least raise the hero point cap. This is what they're calling it, the cap, because the issue was, again, obviously there's nothing else to spend hero points on, so you would think it doesn't really matter, but what's kind of annoying, and again, one of the few things left we can actually do in the game is still complete quests for additional rewards, and whenever I would get any quests, even if I completed them, I couldn't claim them, because it said I needed to spend hero points first, and there's nothing I could spend the hero points on. So again, they eventually raised the cap to, again, I believe it's 1,000,000,001 hero points. So I don't know if it's actually feasible to reach that amount before the game ends, but man, I'd love to see the look on their faces if I have to message them again about having too many hero points when it's 1 billion. But you do still get an incredible amount of hero points in the game. But yeah, again, the other issue is, besides just not being able to complete quests, was I couldn't claim the additional coins or chests, so again, it felt like you're punished for having a lot of success in the game. So they did eventually, I'll say, fix that. They didn't actually remove the cap, because I guess that would take more coding. They just raised it to some extraordinarily high number that they don't think anyone should be able to surpass before the game ends. But again, so if all that was an issue for the hero points, you're probably wondering, how on earth do I have 5 million coins and there doesn't seem to be any issue? And I'm just as confused as you guys are, because I initially thought the first issue I'd run into is I spend 10,000 coins, I buy the January pass, I still have over 5 million coins. I thought when I clicked on these coins here, it would tell me that I need to spend coins first before I could collect them. But that never happened, because they didn't actually code anything into the game to stop you from going over the 5 million coin cap. So the number is actually completely irrelevant. It doesn't actually mean anything, because I can claim the coins in the pass and the coins on the quest without being told that I need to spend any coins. So the amount of coins you can get is probably something ridiculously high. Again, I'm going to keep playing through as much Hatchling Run Team as I can in my spare time. And again, if you guys know, the reason I'm choosing Hatchling Run Team, I usually run it with P.E.K.K.A. using Tank and Tails so I can survive the longest, is because I'll usually be doing something else while the mode is playing. And yes, I know going AFK is probably annoying for the people actually playing the game, but the majority of the time I'm probably playing bot matches anyway, which doesn't net me that many hatchlings, or the other players are going try hard anyway, and I don't really think they care. Again, it's not like they're going to report me, but even if they did, who would care? The game is ending, right? So it doesn't really matter that much anyway. Plus, again, there's no way for them to actually like, they can't see my my play history, so they don't know that I'm just going AFK match after match after match just to rack up hatchlings, because for all they know, again, I decided to play a match and I had to go do something. And yeah, that's, again, there's really nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. That's it's been an issue since Hatchling Run has been in the game, unfortunately, because it was originally based as a team mode anyway. Again, I'd do regular solo if it would get me small amount of hatchlings over time, and unfortunately you actually need to play that mode to get hatchlings. Again, you're probably wondering why I want hatchlings. Again, the reason is, and again, I think on the December past review that I did, it looked like nothing was going on that season. They literally added everything to the update after the day that after the day, it was December 1st is when I did the review, if I'm not mistaken. December 2nd, they added in the 8-bit trials and the squad, I believe they call it Squadmas, right? The Squadmas Advent Calendar. They added do you guys even know that there's 2 new ultimates in the game, the last update? They added literally everything the day after the December past review, so that was very frustrating. But we have a new ultimate heavy, where he used to give you plus 300 health to the squad, which includes the hero, by the way, so it's very good. Now it gives an additional 200 health to every squad member, so again, very good. And they also added the Musketeers, a character, I guess I should mention that as well. We have new Squad E. And the other ultimate that is also quite powerful is Ice Fan slow enemy move and attacks more. Ice Fan slows enemy move and attacks more. I don't know if that's actually English, if that's a sentence. Maybe it was translated. It doesn't feel like a sentence, but yeah, it essentially just slows more, but it's a very significant amount of slowing. In fact, I was playing Spike for a quest recently. I threw down the Spike ability, the Spiky Thorn Grenade or whatever it's called, and then I got the Ice Storm down from the Ice Wizard spell. And I had the Ice Wizard, so all 3 of those things hitting someone playing Sonic, they still basically couldn't even move. They were slowed so much with all 3 of those stacking together, so even just getting hit by the Ice Wizard in general slows a very great deal at ultimate form. But again, as for the Musketeers, a squaddy extra damage zone at the attack range edge, so it's like they added Trunk into Squad Busters, right? You have to hit at the edge of the circle to do extra damage, which I think it makes sense that they include this character with 8-bit, because reasonably you want to keep max distance, and I think it'd probably work even better if you could pair it up with the Archer character to increase your radius of attack even more. But at the same time, I don't find it's a significant enough boost that where I actually want to play Musketeer over other squaddies such as Ruffs or Optimus Prime, where I can just fuse them a lot quicker, especially towards the end of matches, where I very rarely, unless it's a specific mode, actually get all of the squaddies in a match. And obviously that all goes out the window when you're playing big squads, but something that I didn't think I would actually like that much is Musketeer's super shot spell that pierces enemies and gains damage as it flies, and then it deals even more damage at the Ultra Musketeer form. So again, I didn't think it was going to be that good, but again, it pierces through enemies. It doesn't go through walls or anything crazy, but it does go through enemies. It has a slight stun on it, and it can do a lot of damage at the maximum range. And what I found is, well, it's easier to hit than Tails Ultra Moon Piss Laser. You guys don't know what I'm talking about if you've seen the meme, but it's easier to hit than that. I don't think it does quite as much damage, but at max range it's actually pretty close to doing that much damage, it feels like anyway. But it's easier to aim, and there is a short delay because the actual Musketeer animation has to spawn in first. So what I found is, again, I usually play Barbarian King anyway. I was playing, and I showed this last season, I was playing the Scattershot lasers before, because again, it just helps with being able to take out surprisingly single enemies and enemies that are in multiples like the other squads you're going against. But the knockback on Barbarian King's Mega Punch allows you to very easily line up the Musketeer spell shot immediately after the punch, so you can actually get a double stun on the other squad. Or if you just simply shoot it at another squad at max range, there's a very high chance you're just gonna straight up take out one of their squaddies, because it does a lot of damage at max range. I think it is very close to hitting a full shot of Tails' laser beam mech thing, whatever that spell is. So it's very powerful. I'm trying to think in order here, and again, I wanted to show you guys pictures of the actual Squadmas advent calendar, because I was worried there wouldn't be any like proof of its existence or something, that they at least did something Christmas themes. In fact, it still feels more Christmassy than what they had in Brawl Stars recently with the whole who peed in the pool thing. But again, what I did was I looked up a video, and there was at least one person that posted it. I asked them if I could at least acknowledge that their video exists. Again, they just wanted me to credit them essentially, so I'll have to, when I'm rewatching this to repost it, I'll have to remember to give them credit. I might even shout them out in the comments section, but at the very least in the description of the video. And again, I'll have a link popping up. It should pop up at the exact time that I say this, or point, because you can do that in the YouTube studio, so that should pop up in the right corner of your top right corner of your screen, so you can watch his video on the Squadmas advent calendar if you guys care to see that. Interestingly enough, the calendar did change like halfway through, but it only changed like one. Well, actually, I'm trying to remember, did it change or did they update one of the rewards? I swear at least one of them changed, but all of the rewards in the advent calendar were again presents or just random resources or squatty babies, so it was nothing truly exciting, unfortunately. But again, the other thing, I guess I'll have to start at the beginning, is because a lot actually did go on this December pass, and unfortunately I have to talk about the December pass so much because there's hardly anything that's going on in this January pass, and I don't think there's inherently going to be anything new that comes moving forward. Either it'll just be reused things. I'll talk about that. Again, the amount of progress I'll say I'm making in the game, but we have a new hero in the game, 8-bit. Generally, he can be okay. Again, he's not the most powerful hero in the game. In fact, from what I'm seeing, the player with the best actually played against him, at least in one match. I ended up, I think I took third, but he got the jump on me, and I think this should be no surprise to anyone, but wouldn't you guess his hero of choice is also Barbarian King, because the Mega Punch is ridiculously powerful? So again, that should be a surprise to no one. I still think Barbarian King is definitely the most powerful hero in the game right now. But if I were to go in terms of ranking, I'd probably go Barbarian King, Mortis, Royal King, Archer Queen. Archer Queen can be extremely powerful, but it's really hard to just run up and absolutely obliterate a hero in like 3 direct shots from what I've seen. The last 3 are tough. I want to say 8-bit. I didn't even say Sonic, but I don't even think of Sonic as an actual hero. He's more of just a how much can we farm during the game and hopefully not get taken out by other actually powerful heroes. I'll say 8-bit, Spike, P.E.K.K.A, and then Sonic. Sonic isn't bad. That's the issue. I feel like I have to give Sonic an entirely separate rank, like just as his own hero character on it. He's just so different than the other ones because his damage isn't that amazing or anything, but his ability to run around the map and collect the trees and carrots with Mavis and Greg the fastest always makes him at least somewhat viable, assuming that the other players in the match are good enough where no one is actually absolutely dominating the match, because if someone kills everyone else in the lobby except for one Sonic, the Sonic probably isn't gonna win unless it's something maybe like ring grab or something. You know, he still has some modes where the speed is obviously incredibly helpful, so I wouldn't count Sonic out, but he doesn't feel like an actually viable choice if you're going to go aggressive. That's the issue. I never see that work well. I'll have aggressive Sonics on me. I'll Mega Punch them a few times, then they have to run away because they're just not strong enough. Even with the Sonic Super Saiyan ability, they just call it Super Sonic. I thought the Super Sonic name was a bit too straightforward. I was duping myself, but yeah, again, you'll also notice we have all these Christmas skins, but again, essentially how it went is we had the 8-bit hero event, I'll call it. I think that actually was what it was called, but it was essentially the exact same thing as the P.E.K.K.A event, where you could play through, you'd get the hero about halfway through, and then or I guess you'd call it the full way, and then there's an extra segment where you could get a character skin. I believe at the end of P.E.K.K.A's hero journey, if I'm not mistaken, it was Bandits, or it might have been Miner. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the Miner skin, but again, I don't even really play Miner, so it's unfortunate that I don't really get to see it that much, because I believe the Bandit skin was gotten through something else. I can't remember which one it was, but either way, I think I might have showed off. I'm sure at least someone did, again, because that was, I think, even before they announced the game was ending. I'm sure Claz probably has a video showing it or something. But essentially, you get one of these skins. But interestingly enough, during this 8-bit hero, it's not the hero journey. I just have to call it the hero event, or hero unlock event. You wouldn't actually get a Squatty skin. What we actually got was this arcade skin, which is actually rather cool for the Royale King. And if I were to go through the full arcade set, again, all of it happened in a very short amount of time. You don't have anything. I mean, 8-bit actually is an arcade machine, so I don't think it really matters. You can't really give him an arcade skin besides just make them look pixelated, I think. But of the arcade skins, we have the Arcade Barbarian King, Arcade Mortis, which I think was the first one to come out, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think we have an Arcade P.E.K.K.A or anything like that. And then, I believe we have 3 of them. The last arcade skin was Arcade Royal King. We don't have an Arcade Spike, and they don't really seem to add any more Sonic skins just because it was like a one-time event, so unfortunately he doesn't get a Christmas hat or anything like that. And I thought this was also kind of funny. I'll say again, when I talked to that free-to-play player, who the game is technically free-to-play for everyone now because you can't buy anything anymore. But I actually went through and I played through the whole 8-bit event. I obviously got 8-bit, and I got the Arcade Royal King skin. But literally like the day before I got it, he told me that he got the skin through a present. So this is where things got interesting for me, because I figured out that you could start getting the last, I'll say, exclusive skins and pins and all that through presents. So I'm actually only missing one now, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly which one it is. I'd be surprised if I was wrong, but it's possible it could be something else. As I have every emote in the game now, including the exclusive ones, like the Mushroom Mike, there's that one skin for Max. Again, I'm trying to remember what it's called, but I think I just have to go look. There somewhere. And you could just buy the skin outright for tickets. Astro Shadow. And these skins that you had to pay $5 for to get the emotes, now they're free if you're lucky enough to get them out of the presents. So there's that one. I actually did get the chicken when it was in its offer because it said it was like final chance offer. So again, this was before we knew the game was ending, but I did get the reimbursement through Gems and Brawl Stars anyway, so I'm not disappointed by that. I have the Mecha Chicken, and I'm not actually sure what this the one I have for first place is with this. I want to say it's supposed to be like a skin for the Battle Healer, if I'm not mistaken. That one skin, an emote for that skin. I didn't even know it had an exclusive emote, but I swear this was one that was on the Supercell ID store for points. Maybe they removed it. I don't know. It doesn't look like any of the characters in the game. Maybe it was for an unreleased skin for Battle Healer. That's really my only guess, because it does look like the Battle Healer with sort of what would you say, mystical appearance, majestic fairy-like deal. It's got the same hair, and it certainly seems in the vibe of Battle Healer, some kind of pixie forest mage type deal. So besides presents, I don't know how you would have gotten this otherwise anyway. Again, I assume it's for something unreleased. And then this emote here I have for top 5 is a bit strange, because all the other Musketeer emotes, you notice this one is an epic. All the other ones are of a rare background, and they actually showed up in the missing emote section. This one, which is Musketeer looking unamused, or kind of like that thing they always do in Charlie Brown, where they're up on the wall. It didn't show this one, strangely enough, so this was something you might also get through an event, I'm wondering, just unreleased things. And then, again, this is the animation for this one. I couldn't show up, but you guys have probably seen all the other ones, I'm assuming. But yeah, again, I have majority of the emotes there. So as far as that event went, after they finished off with 8-bit, we essentially kind of just jumped into there's like this Christmas event, and I think they still have the mode in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, they actually took it out. That's surprising. So it was Monster Trophy, but with a gingerbread man. Or it was actually, again, they didn't actually want to put anything that wasn't a reused item into the game, so I can actually show you guys exactly what it looked like, believe it or not, because it was just this. It was a very big version of the gingerbread, or ginger snap goblin skin. So it's just, it operated exactly like regular Monster Trophy Kaiju Curse, except it was Christmas themed. The two modifiers were, if I look in the book, Super Ice Spirits and Gift Critters, and I think Gift Critters helped you get a better time. Not that, again, I might still try to get some uploads on the speedrun.com again, just to try and preserve this game as much as I can, but I don't know if anyone actually cares about getting the best time, because again, interestingly enough, unlike the Kaiju Curse mode before, getting the best time isn't the thing that actually helped you to win the leaderboard. And in this event, we had a shop with candy canes. I want to say it was called Winterfest shop or something like that. Or actually, I think it was like Holly Jolly with an exclamation mark or something. Actually, if I go into the help and support, because I just put through a additional request, because there was another, I'll say, I don't know if it's a glitch or error, but something didn't go through. If we hop into this, I think I can show you guys quickly without leaving the game. So, Jolly Holiday, that's what it was called. So the issue was, again, this is more of something interesting I want to try on my side. I want to see if I could actually get all the Christmas skins before I bought them in the shop with candy canes. And why this is so interesting is, before they actually, because there's at least a few days in between the implementation of the Christmas update and the ability for us to actually get the skins, there's at least 2 extra days before that Kaiju Curse-like mode, I'll call it, was implemented. They might call it Monster Trophy Gingerbread Run or something. I can't remember exactly what they called it. I'm sure I have pictures of it, but again, essentially, I started getting these Christmas skins out of nowhere from the presents before anyone even could. Again, assuming you're lucky enough to get them, or anyone's even cared enough or knew how to get them. So I got to play a few matches early with them, and I decided to get them all through presents before I bought them with candy canes. So the issue, as I state here, is that essentially every time you'd spend 500 candy canes to get a skin, if you already had it, there's no fallback, so you didn't get anything. And it's about 4,000, well, actually, let's going by 5, so it's about 3,500 candy canes that did absolutely nothing. I ended the event with about 13,000 candy canes, and the reason for that is there's 18 presents you could buy with the candy canes, and there's actually a picture of it here if it'll pop up. Doesn't seem to, but you can sort of see it. You get about 3 mythics, 5 epic presents. I believe it was 10 commons or rares, I can't remember which one. But it's 18 presents a day on the first day. And then there's 13 more days of the event, as you can see with the timer. Actually, the timer's in a different picture, but it's just out of focus on the shot in the top left, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a 14-day event, 2 weeks. And I'm pretty sure we were supposed to get that amount of presents every single day, you know, like in previous events. But they only were there for the first day. So for the other 13 days, if you already had all the skins, shop was completely empty for 13 days. So again, there's almost no point at all to playing the gingerbread run monster trophy mode if you already had everything, but I did anyway. And I got some decent times on it. In fact, that's when you guys will probably get to see it if you haven't already. I'll upload that. The best video what do you call it? A speed run, right, of the mode. The best one I got. I recorded that, but again, I probably could have got even better times if I went full tryhard. But again, why did they remove the mode? I have no idea. But yeah, again, that was a loss of about 234 presents, unfortunately. So again, strangely enough, the response I got here from the support team, it's not exact copy and paste of the last one I got where they actually did fix the issue with the hero point cap. So again, while I know it looks copy and paste, they do seem to actually be reading them at the very least at some point. I don't know if they're actually going to do anything about this issue because it's not as significant, or issues I should say, is technically 2 different ones. It is, again, I didn't get a fallback for the Christmas skins, and we missed out on 234 presents, so we'll just have to wait and see if we get some huge present drop in the shop, or I just get some random resources for the skins that I'll say extra skins that I purchased with candy canes that I didn't get anything for. And again, I think I already talked about Auto Duel. There's really no reason to play it unless you just really enjoy the mode. And it is a fun mode. I wish it was something with like Squad League where you could get ranks in that, because I think it's just pretty fun, quick matches. But still, the only mode to get on the leaderboard is to play Squad League. And again, majority of the time I'm seeing the heroes I listed in that order for people playing Squad League. It's just the general meta. I don't see a lot of people using I'll show you guys my loadout. The Super Shot spell is what they're calling it, the new one. So I think that gives me a small advantage to stay at range and still take out squaddies, which can help me reload the Mega Punch quicker. And I get a small advantage that way. I do have to stay quite distant, but usually I can make out pretty well. And then I'm still using, I think, the same squad lineup as last season. I think the only thing I switched out was Tank for Ice Wizard, because the new Ice Wizard is just so powerful. And I might have switched out Heavy. I think it might have been Goblin I was using before. There's really nothing else too crazy going on there, so I think that pretty much sums up everything that happened over the December past season. Again, this 8-bit, 2 new ultimates, a bunch of Christmas skins were released. They released all the exclusive emotes. We got the 8-bit character. We got the new Royal King Arcade skin. And again, I think there's already, again, like, I believe Plaz probably did a video on playing the new Hero 8-bit, so I don't think I really need to show or talk about that. You guys can watch his video. Again, I'm trying to give people credit, or at least redirect you to their videos if they already exist, because it'd be a bit weird to waste time on something someone else already did. And again, it's the same thing with that advent calendar. I'll have it up in the iCard. But last thing to do is just, again, show off all the other current stats in the game, or let's say achievements. I have about, I believe it's 9 statues left. 9 statues. Most recent one I got was the dragon. I'm not really sure. They all have names, but you guys, hopefully you guys again will be more interactive and you guys let me know which statue to buy next. But again, by the time I finally get to uploading these, I don't think it's really gonna matter, unfortunately, but I will keep trying to get at least all of the statues. I don't even think I'll be able to fit them all in the actual lobby here, just because the statues have to be placed in these 8 spots. And well, I could move these for, again, the significance of these just show that I've been playing the game the whole time, right? Because you have the ranked trophy for being on the leaderboards, or actually, I think, yeah, you probably had to at least be playing ranked some amount. I think you had to be on a leaderboard, and then you had to be able to buy in the shop at the same time with hammers. It was only like 500 hammers, but it's weird that you didn't just get it outright, and you had to specifically purchase it that way. I also had this golden P.E.K.K.A from the pancake event that we had not too long ago. I forget exactly how that went. You had I still don't think we finished hitting all those subscriber milestones for the additional rewards on the Squad Busters channel because there weren't enough people that cared for that, but we did at least get the statue. And of course we have the most OG statue from the release of the game. But other than that, again, obviously I have about 2 million hero points, 5 million coins. I'll just keep trying to get the most stacked account that I can. I don't think they released any new squatty skins. I just so happen to be able to get the ones that were exclusive before. I guess that's the other thing I almost forgot. They added golden skins for some of the squatties, as you can see here. We got Golden Barbarian, Golden Bee, Golden Max, and Golden Poco. Unfortunately, they never got to making the other characters have golden skins, so those are the only 4 golden ones we have. But again, not only did those characters get golden skins, they should have silver as well, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why you'd necessarily use silver over gold, but the funny thing to me was that both the silver and gold variants cost 500 style tickets, and again, you can see we're still getting those additional style tickets at the end of seasons. And I don't know if that's a glitch, but I have showing 0 hatchlings right now. I had like 400 before. It doesn't really matter either way, but we'll just have to see how that goes. I bet they probably reappear on refresh. I'm wondering if yeah, I was gonna say it. Is it gonna show I have negative hatchlings now? The game has been pretty glitchy, and there's another glitch. I don't know if I can show you guys. Again, yeah, there it goes. The hatchlings are back, so that's another glitch in the game, at least the second one I've seen so far. Starting with this new January season, when I went to buy the January Gem Pass, it had one of the words replaced with "you can get new" is inside greater than and less than symbol. It said like level squatties or something in the coding that was appearing through the actual pass. Now I have a picture of that as well, but I'm not going to waste time showing it here. Up into the treasure room, we made it about as far as basement 8. And again, I don't know if these basements go on infinitely, but I'm not someone who's played the game the most, so I'd probably have to, assuming I could ever get contact with them, if someone on the Squad League leaderboards who played the game an incredible amount. I think I know Anti-Narcissist, I think, always used to be the top in the US, but again, with the game being slowly deteriorating, I don't know if they care to do that as much anymore, but yeah, someone like that would probably have the answer to that, or again, obviously, you just ask the dev team. They'd probably tell you it just goes up by some infinite amount and keeps repeating the rewards, so it's nothing really too special in that. So the only goals left, I'd say, in the game right now are completing the achievements book, which do seem to have pretty achievable final results here. I think I've completed more than last time to finish skeletons, boxer robot, boss robot, guards, think the boxer and boss robots I didn't have finished before, but I do now. And obviously it'll take the longest to finish the most recently added worlds, which again I think was the Mortis world, or the Graveyard, or whatever they call it. Actually, I guess it was Arcade World, but again, something you'll notice, they never even bothered to add the arcade monsters to the book, so unfortunately you just can't complete that. And then the other thing that I'm not sure if we're ever going to be able to complete again is the Butterfly Season mod, because again, I talked about this previously, but it's not an actual mod. It's just a additional thing that showed up for a short while, and if you didn't play a lot at that point, you probably won't be able to complete it, unfortunately. Again, it doesn't really make a difference too much, but if we do get another Butterfly Season events, again, there are going to be repeating events from this point onward, that'd be the best time to complete it. But other than that, it'd be the decorations and the actual Squad League leaderboard. Those are like the last three things you can really look forward to trying to complete in this game, besides stacking a ridiculous amount of resources. Right now I have 82,862 star tokens, and I'll never be able to open a star chest again, unfortunately, but we can keep stacking star tokens. And again, I'll just show off the general stats of my squad accounts. Nothing too crazy here. But again, I still win the majority of the matches I play, so if I had enough time, I might be able to make it top of the leaderboard. US, at least, probably. World would be more difficult, but we'll just have to see how much people, again, care to keep playing the game. But again, other than that, quite a lot of stuff was added in the December season update right after I posted that video. But the actual only recent event going on for this January pass is Pinata Festival. It's back once again. Again, if I play enough, I'll probably end up completing it myself, but again, the invites, I'll probably just accept those because it's pretty hard to invite people now that the API is down. But yeah, other than that, again, you guys gotta let me know. Are you even gonna continue to play Squad Busters at this point, or just delete it, or what? What goals do you guys have left in the game to complete? Let me know if you play Squad League, especially how far you want to get in that. Let me know your highest treasure room level, how many resources you currently have. Again, I probably have the most absurd amount in the game. But other than that, again, I'll be back with the February pass update. Probably won't have nearly as much to talk about, just go over the recent events they had in the game, show off the, again, resources and stats I have. But other than that, hopefully you guys are still enjoying Squad Busters, and let's see how far I can take this, guys.